Thank you very much. There are 5 questions. I will try to complete all these questions within a time. The first question is the author of the scripture. As we know that the whole authorship of the Buddhist scripture available in Pali language literature goes to our Buddha himself. Buddha is the author of all the books available in the Pali literature, especially in Tipitaka, that is the Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. As we know that in the 6th century BC, there was no any written document. There was oral traditions. Buddha preached his Dhamma from village to town, town to, you can say, cities and other places. So, after his Mahaparinirvan or death at the age of the 80, the first Buddhist council was held, in which all the teachings of the Buddha in the oral traditions, it was rehearsed. Again, after passing of Buddha, 100 years of Mahaparinirvan, there was again second Buddhist council which was held at Vaisali. Again, the teachings of the Buddha were rehearsed and compiled. Again, in the third Buddhist council, which was held at the time of King Asoka in the 3rd century BC, the whole teachings of the Buddha were rehearsed and they were classified into Tipitaka, that is Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. And we know that King Asoka also dispatched 9 missionaries to different parts of the world. And Mahendra and Sanghmitra, who were the son and daughters of King Asoka, they were dispatched to Sri Lanka to get the religion Buddhism there. And the whole teaching of Buddha available in the oral traditions, it was carried over to Sri Lanka. And at the time of the Bhattagami Abhay in the 1st century BC, that is the 29 to 28 BC, the whole teachings of the Buddha was written down first of all on the marble slab available in Sri Lanka. So the whole, you can say, authorship goes to the Buddha himself. There is no other than. And in other ways, after that, there were so many commentators, acharyas, who have commented on the teachings of the Buddha available in the Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. And so these teaching literatures are also available. But the authorship of these commentaries, Attakatha, are going to the different commentators like Acharya Buddha Ghosa, Acharya Buddha Datta, Acharya Dhammapal, and others, you can say, at the different times. So these are the authorship, but the whole scripture, the Buddhist scriptures available in the Tipitaka, goes to the Buddha himself. The second question was, what was the purpose of recording of the scripture? In the Buddha himself, at the time of the Buddha, we come to know through the Buddhist teachings that Mahavir, Lord Mahavir, who was the founder of Jainism, he passed away. And there was a dissension among the disciples of the Nigantanath Putra, that is the Mahavir. And they were quarreling among themselves. This was reported to the Buddha by the able disciples of the Buddha, that the disciples of the Lord Mahavir are quarreling and there are some disputes among the teachings of the Lord Mahavir. So Buddha himself thought that there should be a council to compile the teachings of the Buddha. So in the future, there must not be any dissension or there must be any dispute regarding the teachings of the Buddha. So that is why there was a recording in the Sangitya Sutta. In Buddha himself, we find that Buddha himself classified all the teachings of the available in, you can say, at that time. Again, in the first Buddhist council, and second Buddhist council, and third Buddhist council, all the teachings were compiled only for preserving and, you can say, to protect the teachings of Buddha. That he was all, you can say, compiling the teachings of Buddha. So the purpose was that how it was, you can say, there must be unanimous decision regarding the teachings of the Buddha. The third question was the compilation, what was the composition? As we know that this is the Tipitaka, that Tipitaka is made up of two words, Ti and Pitaka. Ti means three and Pitaka, that is the Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka and Abhidhamma Pitaka. Vinaya Pitaka comprises the teachings of the Buddha, which are monastic rules and regulations meant for monks and nuns. There are 227 rules for the monks, and there are 311 rules which are meant for the nuns. And these have been compiled in 5 texts, Mahabhagga, Chulabhagga, Parajika, Pachitya and Parivar. The second Pitaka is called, as if you see that all, Sutta Pitaka. Sutta Pitaka is the popular discourses of the teachings of the Buddha, and there are 5 Nikayas, collections of the teachings of the Buddha, namely Digha Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, Sanjukta Nikaya, Anguttara Nikaya, and Khuddaka Nikaya. And under the Khuddaka Nikaya, we are having the 15 books. So this is the classifications of the teachings of the Buddha. I am not going to detail discussion. And the last is Abhidhamma Pitaka, is the scholastic and the profound special teachings of the Buddha, which are discussing about the relations between mind and matter, Chitta, Chetsik, Rupa and Nirvana, consciousness, psychic factors or mental factors, material qualities and a state of eternal bliss. These have been discussed in the 7 books, Dhammasangani, Vibhanga, Dhatu Katha, Puggalpayati, Kathavattu, Yamak and Patthana. So these are the questions, text in which all the philosophical teachings of the Buddha have been compiled together. Now, the next point, we are coming to the essential teachings of the Buddha. As we know, the Dhamma, which was initiated by the Buddha himself, it comprises 2 things, Paryakti and Patipatti. Paryakti is the original teachings of the Buddha available in the scriptures, and Patipatti, that is the practice which is being followed on the basis of the teachings of the Buddha available in the literature. And in between that, Buddha, in between the Paryakti and Patipatti, Buddha has prescribed a path which is called a middle path, that is the 8-fold path. It comprises, you can say, the 8-fold: Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappo, Samma Vacha, Samma Kamanto, Samma Ajivo, Samma Vyamo, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi. So these are the 8-fold path. Again, these essential teachings, the 8-fold path, have been divided under the 3, that is the Seal, Samadhi and Panya, that is the Pragya. Seal is the physical, vocal culture. It removes or it dispels the physical and vocal misdeeds, and it prepares mentally sound for the having meditations or concentrations. The second aspect is the Samadhi. Samadhi is the one-pointedness of moral consciousness. Kusal Chitas Ekagatati Samadhi. It is of 2 types, Rup Samadhi and Arup Samadhi. Again, these Rup Samadhi, on Arup Samadhi, all the mental misdeeds are being removed. Like there are 5 types of Nivarnas: Kam, Chand, Vyapad, Tinimid, Udach, Kuch, Vichikitsha. These 5 Nivarnas or hindrances are being removed by the 5 types of factors of concentration, Jhanangas, Vitak, Vichar, Piti, Sukha and Ekagata. And these are being, you can say, done for having a state of pragya, that is the wisdom, right understanding. And pragya has been defined as kusal chitta sampayuttam vipassana yanam ti panya. Again, obhasana lakhana panya, that panya or right understanding has the characteristics of enlightening on persons. Through the panya, a person removes the darkness of the ignorance, and through that a person is able to know that all things are subject to impermanence, all things are subject to suffering, and all things are subject to soulless. So through these 3 steps, this is called as 3-step purification of a human personality. So this is the essential teaching
I think he has some internet issue. Professor? Let's wait for a while. I hope he will be back soon. Oh.
Buddhism says that everything is dependent on law, dependent on generations. That is the Patisamutpad or Pratitya Samutpad. All the nature and environment, they are dependent on these things. Even the nature, man, and the, you can say, environment, they are interrelated with each others. And these are the things which are says that and these are the some of the teachings I have given. Other major aspects of the scriptures, I have said that all things are upmad, that this is the rationality of mind, that Buddhism gives, that there is a rationality of through which we are not able to accept the things which is coming from the traditions, and there is no any creator. As regarding the Hinduism, it is said that there is a creator, but Buddhism does not believe in the creator. All things are dependent on some cause and conditions. That is why Buddhism gives emphasis on the law of causality, and everything is dependent on some cause and conditions. Whatever the things which are happening in our day-to-day life, or even the events which are happening, like corona and other things which are happening, it is because of law of karma and because of the law of dependent on generations. So this is the major aspect. The last questions which are that if a person does not know that what happens when he says that there is no any, you can say, one does not know the scriptures, then the only thing is that we are not able to remove the darkness of the ignorance. We are not able to know the nature of the reality. We are not able to know that all things are subject to impermanence. All things are dependent on the cause and conditions. All things are subject to suffering, and all things are subject to soulless. So this is the main things. And as Salini asked that you have to give the one word regarding the teachings of the Buddha, or the you can say regarding the Buddhism. So when it was asked by someone to Acharya Nagarjuna in 1st century AD, then he said that the whole things, the whole teachings of the Buddha, if anyone asks that what is the essence of the teachings of the Buddha, then he says that there is only ahimsa, that is the non-violence. Ahimsa is the essence of the teachings of the Buddhism. Ahimsa is, you can say, that is the mental, you can say, purifications. So in Buddhism, we say that this is the due to covetousness, misdeeds, and other things which are happening in our mind, which avidya, vyapad, and michhaditi. These three things which are happening in our mind, and these are the factors, mental factors, through which the violence are happening in our day-to-day life. So we have to remove the violence, that is the hinsa, in our day-to-day life through this ahimsa. Ahimsa is an action also. This is not non-action, but it is an action through the physical and the vocal actions. And even in Dhammapada, I will try to, you can say, complete in one verse, that if we have to say that what is the essence of the teachings of the Buddha, then there is only one verse in the Dhammapada, that which is coming in the Khuddaka Nikaya of the Tipitaka, that it is said, Sabba papasa karanam kusalasa upasampada sachit paryodapannam etam buddhana sasanam. Don't do immoral things, do moral things, purify your consciousness. This is the teachings of the Buddha, which is coming from the traditions. Thank you very much.